If you take a walk in the English countryside one fine morning, you might pass by this lovely little cottage. Hey, my name is Joe, and this is the tour of the Tudor Revival Manor. A modest little getaway for those seeking the tranquility of birdsong and green spaces. With its 10 bedrooms and several bathrooms, it has ample room for you and a handful of your closest Sims. If you choose, you can even get dirt stuck under your fingernails in the orchard, or perhaps in the greenhouse during inclement weather. Perhaps this Tudor manor is best appreciated from an aerial perspective. Fortunately, the owner has arranged air transport just for us. If for one moment you ignore the glitches on the terraces, you will appreciate the expertly manicured English gardens fit for a king or the odd millionaire. You will need to employ a groundsman, of course, as the acres of lawns do not manicure themselves. There are formally laid out rose gardens and stretches of lavender befitting this stately house. The front garden is complete with a small maze, and amazingly enough, the only place you'll get lost in is the 3rd floor. The entrance is a tower reaching 4 stories in original stone quarried from the surrounding hillside. Some of the fenestration still contains the original stained glass works from a bygone era. Overall, the building has been spared the unsightly scars of modernization. It has been tastefully concealed, and we all know that Wi-Fi is in fact invisible. The fountain that you see here is a custom design combining the domed water emitter and raised flower pots. The manicured textures are all from the Hobbit theme, and you can find the links down below. The theme includes terrain paint, floor tiles, and even lawn roof textures. If you look really closely, you will notice that those are not really roses, but ignore that fact, as there are only 2 types of rose bushes in the game. The central section is split into 2 with a mop bridge between them. I made the fountains by combining the coping of the fountain with different types of fencing. The corner fountain follows the same recipe, just in a different shape. When I began filming the tour, I didn't realize it was turning into autumn, but I feel it added a lovely touch to the tour. Did someone kidnap the statue of the Simonon and place it within the maze? Clearly it's not very well hidden, but the neighbours are too far away to notice. She is looking rather lovely and prim on a pedestal. The front garden is really more of a park-like experience. Right, let's head off around the west side of the house. There is more than enough garden to keep this gardener from becoming bored. There are the traditional conifer trees all standing proud, and even more lavender. This is the newest wing for the manor, and I really wanted to use a different stone and roofing, but I couldn't find anything that matched the time period, but looked newer. This is the conservatory and greenhouse. Plant your greens and orchids in there, and enjoy the rewards all year round. The main bedroom on the 3rd floor has a large balcony and fantastic views over the valley. This is a large stone area off the rear of the house, with plenty of room for a soiree or a classical concerto alongside the classical swimming pool. Play a game of chess with a worthy opponent, or simply relax with a good book under the gazebo. A Jane Austen novel is not prescribed reading. If you haven't misplaced your pocket watch, simply head over to the sundial. Batteries are also not included, or even required, although sunshine is sometimes scarce over the British Isles. This is a closer view of the rose garden in the rear of the house. Once again, not all the bushes have roses, but there you have it. I also realize that there are no trees that resemble fruit trees, though those there over in the corner will have to do. The east side is flanked by more terraces and landscaping. It's a very green and lush property, full of flowers, even in autumn. Behind the tall wooden fencing is the yard leading off the kitchen. Tudor Revival architecture is marked by overhanging protrusions from the main house. These were more common in towns where there was a shortage of space, Rooms would be built out over the lower areas, and it has a rather charming look. Shall we head indoors? The multi-level entrance hall has 2 broad staircases leading up to the first floor and doors to the public rooms ahead. Starting in the formal dining room, it's all of course rather formal. I found it rather difficult to furnish this house for lack of period pieces. This sitting area was supposed to be a double volume area with a proper gallery above, but I forgot and added bedrooms above instead. The space includes a music room and of course the library just up ahead. It's a masculine conservative space with rich paneling and built-in bookcases. Remember that the Wi-Fi is invisible, so when the Historian Society pops around, the computers are simply tossed in the cupboard. Heading off to the games room, you'll notice it's a vast and largely empty space. Please write to the architect and let him know about his poor planning skills. The music room was supposed to be in this space, and the sitting room was supposed to be a much grander affair. Behind the staircase on the left leading to the loft area, there are 2 toilets. When the local louts come over for games night, you do not want them wandering all over the house and relieving themselves in the flower pots. I really do wish we had a pool table in The Sims 4. It's such an odd thing to have missing in The Sims. Perhaps one of the nicest spaces in this manor is the conservatory. It has the most wonderful light. The plants seem to like it too. It's a perfect spot to read a book in winter. Now, shall we head off to take a poke around the kitchen? Odd enough, it is situated towards the front of the house, but it's a very pleasant space. The servants all seem to hang out there. There's an informal dining area and a fireplace that neatly separates the 2 regions of the kitchen. I'm not too sure why the lady of the manor is in the kitchen, but I suspect that the staff have the day off. Neatly tucked away in the back is the laundry area. It has been modernized to cope with modern demands, and the maid does seem to be a little less stressed with the workload. I don't think she does much cooking, do you? She's also a tad overdressed for the occasion. Right, let's take a bird's eye view of the various spaces. By the way, the dining chairs in the kitchen don't match by design. There is a bathroom on the left just off the entrance, and this serves the formal entertainment areas. The library is built into the projection of this wing of the house. The carpet's rather ugly, but I was surprised at lack of choice in this period style. The games room is rather sparse, but just adding more clutter wouldn't improve it, so I moved on. I must confess this was a mammoth project, and by the time I began with the bedrooms, I was a little tired of it. I decided to copy and paste the bedrooms as there's very little variety of decor. On the 3rd floor, the rooms are a little less grand and have lower ceilings. There are 2 central bathrooms and another lounging area. I tried to create a rounded gallery above the entrance below, but it's not the greatest. It's another limitation of the game. This is a short time-lapse. In true English form, it began to rain, and the sun refused to come out that morning. And of course, it snowed, and all was white. Next are some screenshots in case you missed something earlier. The build videos will be separated into 3, one for the house, another for the interior, and lastly the garden. Do watch them if you wish to view how I built this Tudor Revival manor. If you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing right now and turn on notifications from the bell icon. You will also receive alerts to more videos just like this one. Thanks so much for watching, and have an amazing day ahead.